Good morning, good morning. All right, let's kick it off. For many of us this year, women's college basketball season was one for the ages. Viewership was up, more fans than ever before, and there were many storylines. Could USC repeat? Would South Carolina get some vindication? How far could Iowa go? And could Jackson State get over the hump and win an NCAA tournament game? But it was not without controversy. Starting us off is an amazing group of 5 active women's basketball players. Moderating the discussion will be Aaliyah Moore from the University of Texas. Please, everyone, welcome them.
It's gonna be big, yeah. It's gonna be big. I'm running into destiny, shouting into my promise.
Wait a second, let me brag on my God. Hear the truth, yeah, ain't showing off. Yeah, I promise you never took a lie.
Hi, everyone. So glad to be here this morning. So glad y'all are here. We appreciate it. But this is my lovely panel. All right, so I have Sarah. First of all, I'm Aaliyah Moore from the University of Texas. I'm a hooper. I have Sarah Andrews from Baylor University. I have Demauri Flournoy from the University of Georgia, Genesis Bryant, Illinois, and Jaaucklyn Moore, North Texas. So I got some hoopers up here, y'all, hoopers with some knowledge. So I'm really excited to get started for today. So our panel is Sweethearts versus Villains. And if any of y'all have been tuned into women's basketball, you've seen that it's been on the rise, y'all. It's going crazy. It's going crazy. And so it's just a big time for women's basketball, and we're all playing in it right now, so it's awesome. But we have experiences just like y'all. But I thought it would be important to get up here and talk about it because the rise of women's basketball, it's right now. Like, we're hot. And it's about time people start realizing that. So we're going to get into it. But, I mean, I want to start with Sweetheart versus Villains, the labels. How would y'all define the terms Sweetheart versus Villains? And have y'all ever been, how do I say this? Have you ever felt like you were being portrayed as a sweetheart or a villain in the media because of something that you did? We'll start with you. Whoever wants to start.
Okay, I'll start it. I think, sweetheart versus villains means we can't show emotion. We supposed to play pretty. We supposed to be nice. That's how it's supposed to be. I can remember when I got a tech for showing emotion in a game, but a guy can do the same thing. So I think, it's about being cute on the court to everybody else. We're not supposed to have emotion.
Yeah, I agree. As a team, we were playing Iowa one year, and at the end of the game, we're fouling a couple hard fouls, and after the game, all on social media, you see like them attacking our team because it's like, you can't do this, you can't do that, and of course we're playing Caitlin Clark, so it was just kind of like we were looked as the villains in that situation.
Yeah, I would say similar. I'm kind of like a more chill person on the court, so like I remember one time I was showing emotion, and it kind of shocked me. But then the ref was like, hey, like, you got a warning right now. And I'm like, oh, man, like, I didn't even scream at nobody. Like, it was just out in the open. And it just goes to show that, sometimes our emotion is kind of looked upon as, like, aggression. And I think as being black women, that's something we do in society all the time.
Yeah, I agree with what she said. I feel like race plays a huge role in it. I feel like we can show emotion, and white people can show emotion as well, but like when we do it, it's taken as aggression, like she said, or as being, I guess, villainous. But like when white girls do it, it's more just passionate and fiery, and it's more like, oh, she's so sweet, she's so competitive. But like when it's us, it's more like, oh, we're gonna tee her up. We don't need her getting too like riled up. We need to keep the game like fair and, like just I don't know. We just can't fully be ourselves, I feel like.
Yeah. It's funny, Demauri, you bring up Caitlin Clark, because we got to talk about her, y'all. We got to talk about her. The whole thing with her versus Angel Reese and the double standard, I'm sure all of y'all have seen it. The whole hand thing that was going on. Angel, who's a very outspoken black girl from the Bayou, and she stands on what she believes in. But people take that in a negative way, and I'm telling you right now, it's just because the color of her skin. Because Caitlin be doing the same exact thing. The same exact thing. But because she's white, she's from Iowa, the media is just blah, blah, blah. And so it's crazy, like, the expectations that society has on us and how we're supposed to act before they don't even know us. And so I want to know, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like there's been added pressure just because of the color of your skin?
I could start. So I play in the Big Ten, so we played Caitlin Clark, and this year we went to Iowa, and I remember it was right after the Indiana loss. Like, they fans was hyped, they was hyped, and it was one hard foul. I don't even think it was that hard, but it was one hard foul, and the fans just started going crazy on us. Like, you could hear, like, racial slurs, like, from behind our bench, and it was just like, we looking at the little police or whatever, it's like, they ain't gonna do nothing because they for Iowa too, so it's like some things we just gotta handle and just take on your chest and just keep going. But I just feel like that's an example of just, it needs to be more like intentionality with the refs and with the fans to like not just allow that kind of stuff to happen.
I want to say, I'm sorry, but you see how you said we just have to handle it? Isn't it crazy, as black men and women, we've always just had to handle it? We always just have to handle it. But white people, like, no, we don't have to handle it. We need to speak up. But again, that's why this panel is really important, because can we speak up? What happens when we speak up? I just had to add that in. So whoever's supposed to speak up next.
No, like, when we speak up, people like Andrews get treated the way that she does, because it's like, I mean, now she's a bully, now she's this, now she's that, and people just don't know how to, like, read her without, like, they judge her without knowing her.
Yeah, no. Anything else?
I agree.
Thank you, Sarah. So something else too, we all play at PWIs, predominantly white schools, as black athletes, and I want to say I play for a white coach. I know Sarah does.
I have a black coach, a black male coach.
Okay, so I want to know how that's been, Jaaucklyn. You having a black coach. Is your team predominantly black?
Our team is fully black, like
Isn't that
100%
interesting?
top to bottom.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Yeah, so our whole team is black. Our whole coaching staff is black besides one. So I know, y'all know, it can get a little, I don't know how to word it, but, you know, we can be fully ourselves in practice. You know, we're always listening to R&B, you know, Sexy Red, I'm not going to lie. So it's just like, I don't know, it's a good environment. It's definitely different than any other team I've been on. But it also comes with, like, we walk into gyms, like, say we're, you know, blasting our music or whatever, like, we automatically have, like, a stigma attached. And our coaches have to remind us all the time, like, they see us and they're automatically like having these I don't know, preconceived like concessions about us and like just how we're gonna play. They think we might be more aggressive, more, you know, emotional. So like our coaches tell us we have to be mindful of things we do and say on the court to avoid like getting texts and stuff like that. So
No, I get it. Makes sense. So do y'all feel have you ever had to change your appearance or how you act? Because I'll ask y'all because y'all have white coaches and I can relate to this too. But because like, you know, the comments about our hair, the lashes, like, do you think about that stuff before going into games? Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't wear this, you know? Has that ever crossed your mind?
I could start. So I'm originally from the south side of Atlanta, so I could probably count on my hand how many white teachers I had just in grade school alone. So when I went to a PWI, it was a big culture shock for me. I'm just like, everyone was saying like my accent and how you could tell they didn't want to say ghetto, but they would just say, oh, your accent, I like your accent. And I feel like it kind of made me compromise a little bit. Like I try to talk a little more, and it's crazy I'm finna say it, but professional, but it just, so I want to stand out so much. And my lashes, my hair, try to make my lashes a little bit shorter so I don't bring too much attention. But I just realized, like, I just gotta be me. Like, it was like I couldn't even be myself in that space. And I'm a transfer, so I went to a previous school. So when I came to Illinois, I'm just like, I'm just gonna be unapologetically me, and they love me for it. So it's like, don't ever think that your blackness is putting you at a disadvantage, because really, like, they need our culture.
Yeah, and I love how you brought up being unapologetically you, because that transitions perfectly into the next thing I was gonna talk about. So how important for y'all is it to be unapologetically black, playing with girls that look like us? Because we know our team is black, predominantly black, but we're scrutinized by people who aren't black every single day. How is that? Like, just any experiences?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, we don't have a white girl on my team, so I don't really have too much experience with that. But I mean, back in high school, it was like playing with a white girl. She's supportive, she's this, but she just doesn't truly understand like some of the things we go through, some of like what you can do, what you can't do, what you can say. And so it was just kind of, you know, not her just wanting to fit in, but we try to teach her, but she just you could kind of feel I want to understand, but I just don't.
Okay, so transitioning into something else. I think it was day one of the summit. I was able to sit in on Dr. Savon Foster, his session that he had, and it was about having third spaces. And I don't know if you know what a third space is, but it's just having something other than athletics or being on the court, like having that other space, other than your room, like somewhere where you can go, be at peace, be comfortable, whether it's, I don't know, the movies, I don't know, just something else. So I want to know, do y'all have those? Because it's very important as athletes and the things that we go through as black women every day, and having to go to practice, see our white coaches, see our teammates, you know how it is, media, dealing with that stuff. Do y'all have those spaces?
Yeah, I would say I do. I say I go to the mall. I like to shop, so I think, that's just me being me, where I can kind of get away from everything and not be judged and just be who I am and do what I want to do. So I go to the mall and spend some money.
You be spending money?
Yeah,
I need to go shop with you.
Yeah, I
need
got
to go with you. Demauri, or whoever wants to go next.
I was gonna say, so I'm on the leadership board of Empower, and it's basically my little members right there, but it's basically an affinity group for students of color. So we do like events, we do educational purposes, and we want to invite white people too, because like the best thing you could do for a black person is to listen and to learn. And I think a lot of things like people will say, and you don't really understand that's a microaggression. Like for example, like the I don't see color line, and at first like, I'm like, yeah, that's good. Like, you don't see color. I'm like, wait, hold on. Because you do see color, and you should recognize those differences to be able to respect different cultures. So I just think as I got older, I got more, I just listen more for those type of things. And it's like, you don't always got to, like, check somebody in a rude manner, but just educate them on, like, what that statement means, or what you commented on my hair means, or, like, I want to touch your hair. Like, just little things like that. And I feel like as I got more comfortable, more mature in those spaces, I was able to just politely check somebody about those things.
Demauri, do you have a third space? Place you go to feel comfortable?
My safe space, I'm more of like a by myself nature kind of person, so I'm not gonna go blow my bag, but I'm gonna go like, just go for a walk, enjoy like the sun, like anywhere I could be by myself and listening to music. That's pretty much what I do.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, probably my shower. After a long day, I like taking long showers, just like, be by myself, maybe just get out, lay down for a little bit, just to like, unwind, be by myself. And honestly, just anywhere I'm with my friends, I just feel like helps me like escape from some of the stuff I could be dealing with.
Yeah. So I know for me, it's really important that I have a role model, like a ton of role models, because this life that we live is hard. But there's people that have already gone through things that we've been through, and they are continuing to do it. And they do it with grace. And I know for me, I love Maya Moore. I'm a huge Maya Moore fan. We have the same last name, I'm just saying. We also have the same number. But anyways, shout out Maya Moore. But it's really important to just have role models. And her whole situation, she decided to be courageous and step away from basketball and fight for social justice, which is very, you don't see that a lot. It's fearless. Like she received so much criticism because of that. She was hooping all of a sudden, and then she just dropped it. And so for me, she's one of my role models because she did something that a lot of people would be scared to do. So I would love to know who your role models are and why.
My role model would be Odyssey Sims. She's been in and out of the league, and she's been somewhere that I want to be, and she's instilled a lot into me. We've had deep conversations, just understanding being in the league, honestly, and the stereotype that we do have with her being an aggressive type of player, just her being her. Like, she's not going to change for nobody. She's always taught me just to be myself, and people will love you if they truly want to see what's best for you.
I would say, even though I've never met her a day in my life, but Dawn Staley, actually, just the way she kind of carries herself compared to a white head coach, she handles things so much more differently, and she gets hated on so much more. But just the way she carries herself, how she leads her team, and the success she has, I would say she's a great role model.
Yeah, I would say I had two role models. So like my ultimate role model is Jesus. Like, I'm a firm believer in my faith, and just everything I do is for him. But I would say on the court, I would say A'ja Wilson, because she is so unapologetically herself, and just the way she carries herself, the way she speaks out on so many different things. I mean, their whole team, the Las Vegas Aces, like, I love their whole team. But A'ja Wilson, she's definitely someone that I admire.
I would say there's a lot of people I look up to. I wouldn't say I have one role model. I mean, I like Dawn Staley. Like, their whole program, I feel like, is just like, they're a good balance of being themselves, but also being a class act. And I feel like she just represents Black people really well. And then obviously, like, I don't know anybody that's helped me like this far in my career. Just I look up to, of course.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, I love talking about basketball. We are more than athletes, and that's also something very, very important that we need to stress, because the media loves we do something on the court, we mess up, cool, but we're also human, and we are more than athletes, we're student athletes. And so I would love to know, what are y'all's plans after college? Do y'all know? Do you know what you want to do?
I do know. I want to get into sports administration. I want to become an athletic director one day. I do.
Okay, D.
Yeah. So, definitely stay within sports, but I don't want the stress of being a coach. I don't want to do all that. But I just want to, definitely help people like us and just, build a program up and be at the top.
Right now, I'm getting my master's in psychology, and I think after this, I want to continue to get my PhD, hopefully, and I want to be a sports psychologist for a pro team. That's my hopes for the future.
So I want to be a sports broadcaster and just everything in front of the camera. I mean, I feel like representation matters, and you're starting to see more black faces in that field, but I just want to be that one to just continue that fight of just representation.
I want to coach because I feel like we need more people that look like us to coach.
Yes.
So I want to do that. It's about giving back to the generations after us because they're next up. And so that's what I want to do.
I love that. So we're getting to the end, but again, I want to ask y'all, what is the importance, for anybody out there listening, any young girls listening, what is the importance of having a plan B, a plan C after sports? Because y'all, the ball will eventually stop bouncing, and it's a very small percentage of us that's even going to get drafted. And then once you even get drafted, you still got to try out and you got to sign a contract. It's a whole thing. The WNBA is insane. But they're expanding. They are expanding, y'all. But I just want to know how, what is the importance of having a plan B and a plan C for y'all?
It's so important for me. I mean, you touched on it. The WNBA is so kind of limited and just like, all of the above. But we always have the option to play overseas, so it's like, cool, you have that option. But I think people don't, I don't think people use their college experience to the max they could, because it's like we have so many resources, so many opportunities, and we just have to use them. And by using them, those create option B, option C, option D. And a lot of it is just because we don't know, but I think it's our job to like kind of put it out there and continue to like let people know. But it's super important to have an option A, B, and C, because the ball will stop bouncing.
I would say even to just go off that, I feel like just go into every room like you belong. Like if you just look confident, like people are gonna wanna listen, they're gonna wanna have you on their teams and things like that. And a quote that I heard the other day was, the difference between confidence and arrogance is humility. So just always being humble and always just, like everyone wants to help someone that wants help. So just always taking care of that. And also just, like you said, the WNBA is so limited. And me as a woman and the impact it has on our bodies, like I can't see myself doing it for a very, very long time. And I think once I realized that, and I was living in the training room last year, I realized like, I gotta have a more sustainable option. So I think that's when I really started going hard on sports broadcasting and trying to get internships. And yeah, so now just this last year, because I'm a grad, just trying to make sure I got all my ducks in line. So this time next year, I'll have a plan.
Yeah, it is really important. I feel like as we like approach the end of like our college careers, it becomes like more real as like every year you get older. So for me, like it's been like more reality check like this most recent year. I'm coming up on my last year, so like I'm really trying to like lock in and figure out what I want to do, because I'm probably going to be done after this year, and it's like you've been focused on something your whole life, so it's like you have to really figure out who you are. And also, like she said, being injured helps you figure that out too, because like even if you're rehabbing, you're still like not really doing what you want to be doing, and it kind of makes you think about who are you outside of the sport. So it's super important.
I would say just don't be afraid to be different. If you have an idea, there's somebody out there that can help you achieve that goal. The world is evolving each and every day. So if you have an idea, don't be afraid to be different. Pitch the idea to somebody because it can be created.
I love that. So one more question before we wrap up. One piece of advice that you would give young black girls out there that might feel like playing basketball is too masculine, or they're gonna get made fun of, or they're just, they're scared. They're little girls, and we're supposed to be good little cute little girls, So any advice that you would give young girls out there that might be scared, might want to quit their sport?
I would say you could do both. Like, you could still be that feminine energy, and you could bring that to the court, wear your lashes, do your eyebrows, do whatever fits you. And also, another one would be, just because you don't see it, don't mean you can't be it. So even if it's not represented with everything you want to go into, like, you be that one person, and it's always power in being the first.
I would say, I mean, kind of just off that, we have women now who are wearing full face of makeup, their lashes are done, their nails are done. So we have the examples of you can definitely do both. It's just about kind of touching on what you said earlier, having the confidence to actually do it without wanting to be judged, without wanting to be talked about. So I would just kind of instill confidence in younger girls, like, be yourself. Like, at the end of the day, nobody's gonna, like, nobody cares.
Yeah, I would say I feel like basketball or any sport really, especially for black girls, like one of the best ways you can be yourself or like express yourself. So I say whatever you're passionate in, like take it on, like do whatever you like to do. Like you can, and it will give you a lot of opportunities for your future.
I would say it starts with us kind of instilling that confidence in them and kind of paving the way and, you know, supporting each other throughout the process.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all I got for y'all. But I really appreciate y'all for being on this panel with me. And I think, again, I just want to stress the importance of women's sports. Like, we are on the rise, and we're coming, every single sport. So yeah, thank y'all so much. And we're going to be black and proud. Because we're black and we're proud, okay? So let's go. Thank y'all.
you.
Thank you.
Make some more noise for them right now. Make some more noise.
Wait a second, let me brag on my God. Hear the truth, yeah, he be showing off.